How do you get a Chinese residence permit for your newborn baby? Well, if for those who wants to know about how to get the passport for your newborn baby, particularly Nigerian citizens living in China, please check below. You can find the video done dedicated for that. And for those who also want to know how to get the Chinese birth certificate for your newborn in China, whether as Nigerian citizen or any other nationality, we also have another video dedicated to that. And for those who have obtained the Chinese residence, you've obtained the Chinese birth certificate already, well, congratulations. And now you've also obtained the baby's passport. Now, whether Nigerian babies or foreigners or other nationality. All right, the next thing is to obtain the visa. What information do you need to obtain the residence permit? So the baby gets a residence permit because the parents are also on a valid residence permit already in China. The father and mother, whether you're studying or you're working, okay? And then your baby is also going to get the same length of, stay that is left on your visa. So what document do you need? Number one, you need the child's Nigerian passport, in this case for Nigerian citizen or the nationality. You need your baby's new passport, the original copy. The original is important, and a copy of the data page. You make a colored copy of the data page. Then the original Chinese medical birth certificate of the baby. You also need to take that along and also make a copy of that, which you will get from the hospital at no cost, like we explained in the previous video, because the cost is included in the delivery cost already. Then both parents, valid passport and Chinese residence permit. You make a copy of that and go with the original copy also. And then parents' marriage certificate, which you must have notarized and legalized, notarized in Chinese translation before you came into China. You need to take that along. Then there is a completed application form which you would complete at the one-stop application center when you get there. You need that. Then you also need a recent passport photograph of the infant. The size is the Chinese, style, 33 millimeter by 48 millimeter. Get about 3 to 4. Take it, although they are going to take the picture of the baby.
Background.
White background. They're going to take the picture of the baby when you get there, but you go with yours also. Otherwise, you get there and they tell you to go and get it, and you have to go out and come back. And sometimes this could constitute some unnecessary delays. So get all of this information necessary. And usually, if you're working in China or if you are studying in China, your wife probably is, if your wife isn't working, your wife is probably on a S1 long-term residence permit, or your husband is, and your baby is also going to be on that permit. If both of you are working, congratulations, your baby is not going to come on work visa, your baby is going to come on an S1 long-term residence permit. Okay. And now, what if your passport is about to expire? How do you do it? Your passport, let's say you give birth to the baby this month, your passport is going to expire next month. What do you do? So the thing you should do is, since your passport is about to be expired, I expect that if your passport is expired in 1 month, you should have actually renewed before that time. So let's say, for example, you were busy with preparation of the baby, you forgot to renew it, and the baby arrived. So what should you do?
You have applied and it has not arrived.
So so you don't need to wait. It doesn't stop your baby's passport. So you need to continue your baby's passport registration and obtain that. But know that your visa is supposed to, your baby's visa is supposed to, residence permit is going to be, should be on your own permit, right? But now your visa is going to be, your passport is going to, your residence permit is going to expire. So what do? Go together with your baby to the immigration center. Usually what they will give to you is what we call T visa. T visa is a transit visa. Like a temporary visa. Let me use the word, not transit. Temporary visa, and it's about 1 month. So your baby can be on that visa while on that residence permit, on that visa, I would say, while you are renewing your passport to extend your stay in China. Because usually, if you want to extend your stay by work, you will still need to probably apply for work permit again, do some preparation application. So while your baby is on that T visa, which when you get to the immigration center, it's easy to apply for, very easy. And they cost maybe, I don't know, less than about 400 yuan. Then you can continue the processing of your extension, your decision of your residence permit, whether you're a student or you're working class in China. Then when you get your long-term residence permit, your baby then change back from T visa on your visa. You see that way? On your, yeah, that's the way it works. Or let's say you want to, let's say your passport is still valid, but your visa is about to expire. Let's say it's 1 day to expire. What you should do is go and apply for T visa yourself, and then your baby will be on T visa, and then both of you are ready, then you can travel out of China. However, the government will always tell you that your baby has 60 days after birth to obtain the visa. So usually 60 days is enough to obtain the passport and to obtain the visa. Okay, and in some extreme cases where it may be difficult for the baby to obtain a visa, but the baby should obtain a visa. Otherwise, then traveling out of the nation is a bit difficult. But they are experts in handling all of those bureaucracies. But usually, if you're in a residence permit, the best thing to do if you are not going to extend your stay in China is to apply for a T visa. Otherwise, if your passport is valid, your visa is valid, then congratulations, your baby arrived, put the baby on that visa. With all of these documents again, your passport, your wife's passport, and both of you, your visas, your marriage certificate, the recent passport photograph, white background for the baby's Chinese medical birth certificate, the baby's original copy of passport and photocopy, and the application form. And that should suffice. And within 1 week, 7 to 15 working days, depending on where you're applying for that visa in China, you should get it sorted.
And they have to go with the baby, right?
Yes, thank you. You have to go with it. You can't keep the baby at home. You need to go with the baby. They need to see the baby, and they also take the picture of the baby.
So,
and yes.
Yeah, so with all this informed, this is as of now that we are in China with all the information that we know, knowing fully well that policies change.
That's right.
And things can get better, which we pray for. China is that country that constantly improves. So things might get better over the years, but as of now, this is the procedure that helped us. And this is why we are sharing it. Because
that's right.
Many times, foreigners, we don't know where and who to ask and how to navigate these things. But it's not difficult. All you need to do is just put these things down on paper, because the truth is, during the process of delivery and even afterwards, there's tendency to be carried away by the situation of taking care of the baby, taking care of the mother. And that's why I did a video where I talked about having a baby in China. I had my baby through a CS, and the whole recovery, the whole birth and everything. You want to watch that video. But at the same time, I suggest that as you pack the mommy's bag and the baby's bag, daddy's bag should also be packed. And daddy's bag is mostly documentation, your passport, your photocopies of passport,
and also some candy. You may be stressed.
Well, yeah, you can get a candy and all that. But the most important thing is prepare all this. You could even set reminders on your phone for all this, because the truth is, you never can tell what could be the outcome after delivery. I came out of CS in the hospital after 5 days to 6 days. I think I went home on the 6th day. But some people, depending on how the birth is, you might need to stay more in the hospital. And meanwhile, you need documentation must be going. So you need support. So listen to that video. You want to put support on ground. You want to set reminders on your phone. You want to be able to plan ahead so that none of this is missing out, right? And very importantly, there are Nigerian communities, WeChats that you can join, and you can talk, ask questions if as at maybe policies have changed, right? And this video, maybe some of the things we have said, money has increased, or maybe there's more documentation and there's more involvement. You can ask questions on WeChat channels. Nigerians generally, or any country WeChat, they are really open to help. I remember in my time when we were still pregnant, and we saw a community that even had a physical, there was a physical, like a coffee or something.
They didn't even know us, but they were willing to just...
and they were not even Africans, I think, but we were willing, we were open to learn. So that's one of the things you want to put in your tool pack. You want to be open to learn and all that. You can even visit the hospital that you would soon have your birth. Visit that hospital beforehand and know the procedures that are involved.
Yes.
Like, make sure that you are getting all the information. Yes, the language is another thing entirely, but there's nothing you cannot solve with the right support of a Chinese friend or with your translator, right? But just know that getting a resident permit for your baby is not a big deal. China knows that the baby is born in their country, and they want to help you with all the assistance they can. So just relax. And lastly, I would say, don't be agitated when you're talking to Chinese as a foreigner, because they are already agitated by your presence, meaning that they always doubt their ability to speak English. Like, when they see you, they already feel like even more is required.
Even as a doctor, you may be surprised.
So when they see you, they already feel like, oh my God, I hope this communication or this conversation is really going to be successful. They're already agitated by your presence. Like, how are we going to do this? They want to, in fact, sometimes what they do is they get another colleague that can speak a better English than them. Meaning, that's just to tell you how anxious they are. But they want to help you. So in the beginning, we didn't know that was the situation. We felt that, referring us to another colleague or calling people, because sometimes your matter is private.
You just
want you and your doctor to talk like the baby and all that. But all of a sudden, three doctors are already in the room. They're already talking about your situation. They're already saying, why you going? They're already talking about you, and you feel like, what's the essence? Like, I'm just talking to you. Like, can we talk? Do you see? So don't get agitated. It's the way they do. So when you are talking,
they're trying to help you.
So when you are talking to a doctor, just take a deep breath, be calm. Always reassure them that you are willing to listen to their counsel. You're not trying to impose what you feel that is done in your own country here. Just be open to their support and all that. But when it comes to the finances, please put your feet on the ground, because you will pay any little thing you are paying. So so just get ready that it's expensive to have a baby in China. That's the fact. It's expensive. That's why even they, like the indigenous, you don't see them have
usually
many kids.
So we should talk about. So what about how much should you expect to pay? Maybe another video for that.
Plus or minus. You just put the
for
money
the visa for the visa. You should have about, if it's long-term residence permit, around 800 RMB as at this time. Okay, but what about how much should you prepare to pay when your wife's about to deliver at the hospital? Check. We're going to do another video dedicated for that.
Because it's a long communication. Like, money is a big deal, right? So
thank you.
See you in the next video. Bye.
Yes.